Hey, good Friday, everybody. Coming to you from Luke chapter 8 through Luke chapter 16. Reading these stories today in my Bible reading, and I was reminded of a sermon I preached years ago. The title of it, I Would Be in a Mess If It Wasn't for Jesus. This right here, this video would be a good place to plug in your testimony. Let me show you how it goes. Jesus was walking to this little 12-year-old girl who was sick, walking to her house, and on the way a woman with an issue of blood reached out and touched the hem of his garment. She was made whole, and if she could testify, she would say something like, for 12 years I carried this infirmity, this stinking problem in my life, and nothing was good, and nobody could help me. I went to all the physicians and nobody knew what was going on till I met Jesus. And she'd sum it up with this: you know what? She said, I'd be in a mess if it wasn't for Jesus. Jesus makes his way to that 12-year-old little girl's house who was sick, and then ultimately she passed, and he raised her up. And if she could testify, her little self would say something like, you know, parents tried to do their best and try to raise me right. Didn't mean I didn't get sick. And she said it was bad. All of a sudden, in my bedroom, I saw the greatest thing in my life. A man named Jesus who raised me up, set my feet on a rock, established my goings. She said I'd be in a mess if it wasn't for Jesus. And that woman who was bent over for 18 years, the Bible says she had a spirit of infirmity. She was bent over. It's kind of a picture of us with the burdens of life just on our shoulders and on our back, and it's got us just bent over, and life keeps lifing, and nothing seems to help, and nobody comes to help. And all of a sudden one day, this woman met Jesus, and he said this right here: woman, thou art loosed. And that moment she stood upright. She hadn't been that way in almost 2 decades. And if she could speak, she would say something like, times were tough. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to be around me. But I tell you what, the moment I met Jesus and he touched me and took those burdens off of me onto himself, she said I'd be in a mess if it wasn't for Jesus. And man, let me just plug in right here. This old electrician boy,